Hi, I'm Vanessa Goertzen, and I'm here with Lella Boutique, my pattern company, and I'm just here to give you a little tour of my booth here at Quilt Market in Pittsburgh. First, we're going to start out with my Snow Blossoms quilt pattern. This is a fat quarter quilt, and of course it uses my new line Into the Woods. And it's an 18 fat quarter quilt. And the next pattern that I created for this line is called Cottage Canopy. And this is just a fun little playhouse for kids, a little reading nook. And it's a really pretty simple pattern, and it's really great quality. It just takes a hula hoop that you insert into this little casing up here. We have a special little feature in the roof here so that you can slip the hula hoop into the casing. You just tape it back together and then kind of slide it over, and I just hot glued a little swatch here, and then it just goes back in place like that. And so that was a lot of fun. My mom and I actually made this pattern together, and that was a lot of fun. And then the next pattern that I have is down here. It's kind of squished a little bit, but it's a layer cake pattern that I made, and it's called Sawmill. And I just really wanted something that it looked like a lumberjack had taken his axe to it, kind of a wonky block. And this was actually one of the quickest patterns out of all of them. It came together really easily. The next pattern that I have up here, as you can see, it's quite large. It's a twin-sized quilt, and that is called Cartwheel. That's made with 3 charm packs. And that, once again, is pretty easy, and it's got this accent fabric as well that you can choose. And my last quilt pattern that I have here is called Twinkle. And this one is a jelly roll quilt, but the pattern's written so you can actually use a layer cake or fat quarters as well. And so this was all made using my Into the Woods fabric with MODA, and that will ship to stores in August. Now, when I made this fabric line, I kept imagining a lot of sewing projects for kids because I do have some young kids myself. I have a 3-year-old daughter. And so I used my pat a cake pattern to make a little toddler apron here. And it kind of just ties around the back and then back up to the front in a little bow. And then in that pattern, you also get a little oven mitt, and I have some hot pads as well. Those are all in the same pattern. And that was a really fun project. This little cape, it's called Wolf Bait. And this is another project that I'm working on with my mom, and this pattern will be available in June. And then I also have this little Little Red Riding Hood doll pattern here. And that was a really fun sewing project as well. I just wanted something really simple that any beginner could make. And I think it shows off the line really well. I especially love the little wood grain in her hair. And so that's it for my booth, and I hope you enjoyed this tour.